Good evening, LinkedIn family, and wherever else I am streaming this evening. I am supposed to be welcoming a guest, but I don't know if he got held up or he forgot what time it was. I know we're both on the East Coast, but this is important for me. This happened last time too, last week, but it's important for me to say the show must go on. And I think it's also important for me to push through even when I'm uncomfortable. And I talk about that a lot. And right now is no different than any of those other times that I need to just sort of push through when I'm not feeling 100%. I had kind of a tough afternoon and really for no good reason. It was just one of those afternoons where you start to feel, these are the feelings I was having. I was feeling less than. I was feeling like I didn't matter. I was feeling unimportant. And the narrative in my head was continuing this story. So the voice in my head was saying, exactly, every time I said something about myself. So and this happens to me once in a while. It's not all the time because I try to keep a pretty positive Annietude, but I'm just being real because that's what the show is. And my authenticity is here to explain to you that we all have days where we feel like crap about ourselves. So even the most positive people, the most energetic and happy and smiling people feel down for no reason, that they can put their finger on. I started to feel like less than and insecure and all these feelings that I don't normally feel. And I don't like that. It's a very uncomfortable place for me. So my advice to clients and friends and anyone that I would talk to that told me about this feeling would be, wait a minute. First of all, it's okay. Oh, there he is. So if he can hear me, just give me 1 second to finish this little diatribe, David. It's okay to feel where you're feeling. It's okay to be where you are. It's okay to feel less than or insecure or any of those things. Just sit with it. And what it made me do was not want to do the podcast. But every time I get on here and every time I can pass my message on to others and let them know that I too have those down days and crappy feelings, I feel better. I'm already feeling better just after having told you that. So thank you for being there for me. So this is welcome to my friend and our guest tonight, David Pollack. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing?
So I was good. I was nervous, and this is what happens before I get on. I'm like, well, if he just no-shows, then I'm going to have to find 30 minutes of content to talk about, but I never have a shortage of things to say. So I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And then I was like racking my brain of what I was going to talk about. And I just started talking about how I was feeling like crap this afternoon. And this, some people look at me and think, oh, she's always, happy, or she's always positive. And it's like, not a chance. I mean, that's just not where I am or who I am. And I don't claim to be. And, part of my catharsis with this whole podcast and everything we do here on Living with Annietude is like to put myself out there, even when I'm not feeling my best. Right. So I didn't introduce you. I like when my guests sort of give their own bio, or say a couple sentences, or they don't have to. So do you want to sort of just do like a quick intro of who you are?
Sure. My name's David Pollack. I've been cooking since I have been 14 years old, spent over 30 years in restaurants, and I decided to wear a particular shirt today.
I love it. Got kidneys. It's like the one day I didn't wear anything that my shirt does. It's like the one day. Got kidneys. I love it.
This shirt's actually from a kidney walk that I was on. I'm actually a kidney recipient. I spent 4.5 years on dialysis and spent this past April was 8 years, so 8.5 years with the kidney, and I'm working on a nonprofit called Cooking Without Kidneys. That's one amazing. Big thing that quarantine has done for me.
Tell me about Cooking Without Kidneys. Mm-hmm.
So it's a non-for-profit that I'm putting together to not just help educate people, but to help them and not just survive being on dialysis, but thrive. 70% of people 70 to 80% of people on dialysis usually die from heart failure due to potassium poisoning.
I didn't know that.
Nope. When your kidneys shut down, they're no longer filtering. So things that normally your body would just get rid of it can't.
Okay.
So there was a survey done back in 2016 by the National Kidney Association of about 500 people, and of those, 50% said knowing their potassium numbers was important. And of that, 80% didn't even really know what their numbers were and didn't even understand what it meant.
Wow.
So to give you, for instance, when I was on dialysis, I put myself in the hospital twice. The first time was when I initially went on dialysis. I mean, I was in the hospital multiple times, but first time was when I initially went on dialysis. The second time was with potassium poisoning. I kind of like an alcoholic goes on a bender. I went on a bender and ate everything I wasn't supposed to.
So was this like a self-sabotage move, or like was this just a effort, or like what sort of made you do that?
You know what? It took a few years to come to the realization that at that point in time, it was more of a fuck everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat what I want. I'm going to do what I want, and that'll be it.
Right. And a little bit of I'm bigger than this, and who cares? And I'm going to do what I want. Yeah. Right. Like I'm bigger than this disease. So that's interesting.
It wasn't even that. I just hit a low point when I was on dialysis, and I gave up.
Yeah. I get it.
I get it. I completely gave up. So the easiest way to do it is, I ate potatoes, citrus, tomatoes, dark leafy greens, plantains, salsa, all the things that we're not supposed to eat.
And utter self-sabotage. Just go for it. And what happened? Like, what was the effect?
I woke up the next day with 104 fever. And it was a Monday that I woke up. So dialysis. So I had Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for dialysis. You're either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Unless you're doing home dialysis, then it's like some people do overnight. There's all sorts of different things you can do at home. But I kept in a unit. With a 1-bedroom condo, I couldn't have a nurse in there. Plus, having a cat, sanitation was just not there for that. So, yeah. Excuse me. So for me, I just hit a real low point, ate everything I wasn't supposed to, woke up with 104 fever. My wife decided not to go to work. And she looked at me and said, "You don't look good. I'm taking you to the hospital." No, I'm fine. No, you don't look good. I'm taking you to the hospital. Good thing she did. It was at a time when there was another pandemic going on. At the time, it didn't quite hit I think it was when swine flu. It was during swine flu.
Okay.
They had me waiting in the waiting room with all these other people, and my wife, after an hour and a half, my wife walked up and said, "What's more important than having a patient of your dialysis unit who's not doing well with 104-degree fever? What's that going to mean for you guys?"
Right.
Brought me in a back, and my potassium was 10.4. Now it's 10.4.
Give me like what that means.
Right. So when they inject death row inmates with potassium sulfate, they inject them with 7.5 parts per million. So I was almost double what they would give a death row inmate.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's pretty intense.
Now the sad yet funny part about this is the doctor's telling me this, and I just looked. I was like, "Okay, Kevorkian, where did I go wrong?" And he just looked at me and was like, "My wife hit me, and my sister was there. She hit me too." And they both looked at me like, "Really? You're going?"
Well, what were you going to do? I mean, I'm all about, self-deprecating humor at bad times when you're supposed to be all serious. That's the time that I say something funny. Like, just sometimes you have to. What are you going to laugh so you don't cry? Right? I mean,
it was more than that. It's just, I don't get serious. If like the times that people say I'm serious is either I'm in a conversation about coffee, which is something else that my wife and I do, or if I'm in a kitchen. That's when the more serious side of me comes out. Other than that, I like to play and have fun in the conversation. And even when it comes to the coffee, it's still about having fun and playing in the conversation. So I try not to be serious.
what made you, I mean, I understand the impetus for the nonprofit, but what made you sort of say, all right, we're really going to make this into something. We're going to turn this into a business to help people?
So I did Landmark Forum about 4.5, 5 years ago. It's basically walking in, sitting there for 3 days and just learning about yourself, where you're at in your life, what it is that you're working towards, and, just really confronting yourself. And, I did that. And I realized I wanted my own business. I took the advanced course, which was the next course. I was like, no, I don't want one. I want 6. And I know how I want to do it. That's the thing. The advanced course got me to I know how I want to do it. But I did the third part of, they call it the curriculum for living. The third part of that is self-expression and leadership program.
Okay.
Which there's a lot of different charities that actually came out of that program, which they're escaping me at this point in time.
Okay.
So while I was there, I got past my survivor's remorse because my kidney is literally half my age.
Okay.
So it would be a 22-year-old kid.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, I got pictures of the kidney too. It's great.
Oh my God, is it adorable?
It started working right away. The surgeon went to take a picture, and the camera and the kidney stopped working. She moved the camera away. It started working. She moved the camera towards it, stopped working. I have a camera shy kidney.
You do. That kidney is not related to me. No. So your kidney does not like pictures, but it likes working and being 22 years old. So
yeah. But doing the self-expression leadership program really got me past the survivor's remorse piece, and I said, okay, you know what, this is where I'm going to go. And that's where Cooking Without Kidneys originally came up, because I love to cook. I looked at statistics, and it's alarming statistics of how many people actually die mainly because what they eat causes something else.
So it's an incredible business idea. It really is.
I mean, you hear everything about people who are, I'm not knocking anyone else going through what they're going through, but you hear about people who have cancer. If they eat the wrong things, it interferes with their medication. Cancer comes back, causes problems, kills them. People who have hypertension, who on a consistent basis eat more salt, have heart issues, and eat all the wrong things. Eventually, that's going to kill them. When you're on dialysis, there's the time limit is extremely shortened because your body can't get rid of that excess. So for me, what I saw was the issue was not that there wasn't the knowledge there, it's that there wasn't a way to present it to people that it was relatable. It's one thing when you're in dialysis and you have, a dietitian saying they're going, well, you need to eat like this, and here are some recipes, versus you walk into a competition or a demonstration and there's someone giving you samples to taste. You could smell it. It's tactile. You could do it.
Well, there's a health and wellness aspect to what you do, but there's an empowerment piece that I think is important to note, because when you're giving people that are feeling weaker, or less than, or I don't want to put words in your mouth of how you were feeling, but you were obviously sick, very sick, and you don't have a whole lot of control over that. So you are giving a control that has been taken away from people. So you're gifting them and empowering them with this other control that's pretty incredible. So this mental health aspect of it interests me, sort of how your business impacts people's mental health when they're sick.
So it gives them, the way I see it is, it gives them a way to have things that they like and not run the risk of having the issues that they may run into.
Right.
I'll give you a couple, for instance. Do you like marinara?
Do I? Yes. I like everything.
Okay. So I make a delicious marinara. There is not 1 ounce of tomato in it.
Wow. Can you tell how you make it, or we're not allowed to know?
No, it's on my WordPress site. You can put it up for people to check out. I want people
Sure, I
trying out the
will.
recipes.
Check this
So,
out. I'll even put it on a ticker banner. Go ahead. Tell me what to go to.
cookingwithoutkidneys.wordpress.com.
So this is like fancy. Check this out.
So, there we go.
Yeah. So we'll keep that up
So,
for anyone watching. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So
the cool thing,
and this is what you tell your recipes, or you tell how you do it, or all the love that you put into it?
I actually do videos on Facebook. I need to get back into it. It's been a couple weeks since I posted, but I have videos on Facebook of certain things that I've made that are kidney friendly. I have the recipes I usually put up on the WordPress site, and it's kind of my goal that that's going to blow up and expand as time goes on, as more chefs come in for demonstrations and competitions, keynote speakers come in, vendors come in, partnerships are made, that it's going to blow up into this really cool kind of like, here events are happening all over the place, and okay, you want specific help with your diet needs. My lead dietitian, who I'm in conversation with, who's probably going to sign a dotted line when I'm at that point for the board. He's not only going to set up the demonstrations and competitions, the rules and regulations, the whole 9 yards, and go through the recipes, but he's going to set up a team of dietitians and actually create a Cooking Without Kidneys consulting. So people want to talk about, people have questions, people have issues, and they want to know how to get around it. These people are going to be there to share recipes, have the conversations, work with people on getting past where they are with food, and being on dialysis.
So, David, how would this have impacted you if someone had done this and created this while you were sick and on dialysis?
I probably would have been the forefront donator and probably would have done everything I could to become part of it. Just for the simple fact is I am a chef. And just my food knowledge mixed with some of the tricks I learned on dialysis, such as potatoes, very high in potassium.
Right. People just don't know this stuff. I mean, for the most part, unless you're a dietitian, unless you're super into nutrition, people don't really know a ton about what you can and can't have if you're on dialysis and if you're sick like this. So it's very informative. But like I said before, Kenny says hi. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
So sweet. I love when he pops on. I think
I did smoked chicken and a green tomatillo salsa for dinner.
Oh wow. So it's so empowering, I would think, just feeling like I said before, like you lost that aspect of your life, and then being able to sort of bring that back into your life it's such a meaningful thing that you're doing. It's not just making another company. It's not just creating another product. It's a product that is truly impacting lives, and more than people even realize. More people and more impact. So I find it, really incredible that you're doing this. I want to hear about the coffee too, but whatever you want to tell, but I love coffee. So.
Okay. So
how the coffee comes into play.
Yeah. You want to talk coffee? We could do that too. So about 5 years ago, my wife was introduced to a couple different teas through a company called Organo Gold. She liked the tea. She would buy a box, and then she'd walk away, and then she'd hear about the Organo from someone else, buy something, and then walk away. And then finally, the third time we got invited to an event, we went to go check it out, and it was actually all about the weight management shakes. I'm getting to the coffee.
Okay.
I'm just giving you the background of how we got involved. So we checked out the shakes. They're delicious. They were much better than what she was drinking prior. I'm not going to say what they were or where they came from, but the best I'll give you is it was stuff designated by a hospital.
Okay.
So she lost about 50 or 60 pounds on the plan from the hospital. And in the past 4.5 years, 5 years, she's lost another 90 pounds. Yep. Yeah, she's doing really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but she wanted to get the shakes at the best price, so she bought in for a wholesale, what I like to call the BJ's membership. She bought in wholesale $49.95, and then she signed us up to become distributors. And she came home and told me this. I'm like, that's nice, dear.
Right.
Enjoy it. Have fun. It's your business. I'll help you with your business.
Right.
And went to an event, came home, and on the flight home, I looked at her. I was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. So it became our business. The coffee is actually health and wellness. It is.
Well, I looked it up when I first met you. I looked it up, so I did see that. So it looks very interesting, and I love coffee, so I'm definitely going to look into it more. But go ahead. So tell me more.
I can definitely send you samples. So when I learned the financial package, how the finances work through Organo, that's when I decided to really come on board. I'm a shark. If it's a way I can make money, I like to hustle. Being a chef, that's all I do is hustle.
I understand.
But what kept me in was 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks after my wife started using the shakes on a regular basis, taking the nutraceuticals through Organo. She came off of insulin completely because she's type 2 diabetic.
Wow.
So she's still taking metformin, but she's completely off of insulin. She's no longer injecting herself 4 times a day.
So you guys are living pretty healthily these days.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're living the good life. You've made some serious changes, obviously, and you're impacting the world. I mean, your company is just incredible. I mean, and Gabe told me about this a long time ago, so I knew sort of what the whole premise was, but just to hear you explain it and how you come from the patient side and how you decided to create this and make this type of impact is really amazing. What can I do besides put a WordPress link? What can I do to help you and serve you regarding this?
So the cool thing right now is where I'm at right now is the articles of incorporation have just been submitted. So me and my lawyer already put that in and applied for that. I'm putting in for the EIN number soon. And as things build, I'll start to be looking for donations and whatnot. Right now, it's just raising awareness that it's coming and just kind of hoping to create that kind of groundswell because we actually live in the same area. I'm off of City Avenue.
I was just going to ask you that. I didn't want to say it live, but now that you don't care, so you're off of City Avenue, or you're Bella?
I'm on the wrong side of City Avenue. I'm on the Philadelphia side.
Not the wrong side, but the 215. I hear you. I love the 215. So nice. So yeah, you're not far from me at all. In fact, I'm moving back to the main line in October. So we will be very, very close. Okay. So will you just keep me in mind when I think what you need is just word of mouth. I think that people just have to be talking about it and excited about it. And once you get that going.
At this point, it's about word of mouth. It's about getting people to start trying the recipes, giving me feedback, letting me know how they like them, how they didn't. Were they easy to work? Weren't they? I know some of my recipes actually have potatoes in it. And the crazy part is if you soak potatoes 2 days in a row, changing the water every, 5 hours, you'll leach most of the potassium out of them.
Huh. So this is all, you have videos and are you on LinkedIn where you're promoting, or are you Facebook? Or
I'm promoting on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. When I do my videos, I do them on Facebook. I use Facebook Live, and that's going to be changing at some point. I'm going to be getting a laptop and getting a webcam and switching to either StreamYard, where I could do a split screen like this and bring other chefs on.
That's
so they're
so
doing
fun.
a version of the recipe. Yeah, just having fun with it, having conversations around it, and just building on it.
And what really interests me, just sort of where Annietude.com comes into play, is sort of the mental health aspect. I am queen of detoxing people. So I love to sort of get to the roots of people's issues, and in a business sense, but also personal sense, how they can be detoxed as people. And what I'm really big on our contribution to what makes things happen. So I think that we align in that, you're sort of going to the roots of it and saying, if you make these changes, you can live a healthier life. You don't have to throw in the towel. You don't have to say, F it. And I think it's super important what you're doing. So I am happy to promote your products. And when you get up and running, or if you need some help, you can always reach out to me. And I have a big mouth, so I will spread the word happily for good people. And I think it's important that we stick together and help each other. So
hey, we're Eagles fan. We both bleed green.
Listen,
come on now.
I always have you like backing me up when you watch us and you hear us talking and you're like, Eagles. I'm like, that's my boy. Like, they don't understand. People don't get it. Like, when you're a Philly person, it's not like anywhere else. There's just no.
I love the fact. I love the fact that Gabriel's like, every time he's like, how many rings did Dallas have? How many?
Oh my God. And we're like, okay, what year was that? Like, enough, but he will he takes his Dallas hat off for me and he puts on his Annietude hat. So, we're all living with Annietude, but we're coming toward the end of the half hour. And I wanted to see if the half hour goes fast, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see if you had anything you wanted to add that you wanted people to know besides going to your website, which is so fancily going at the bottom of the screen on the ticker. Is there anywhere else people can reach you, or how do people find you?
You can contact me through Facebook, through my Cooking Without Kidneys page, because I have a page on Facebook. You can contact me through LinkedIn. You can, now I'm going to preface this. I am not a dietitian. I am not a nutritionist. Okay, I am a chef. So therefore, I make good food. I'm not going to sit here and make something that tastes bad. The reason I'm able to make it safe for someone who's on dialysis is because I've been there. And these are some of these recipes I definitely developed also, especially my marinara recipe. I had to figure that out.
You made me hungry. It's so funny that you say that, Dave. Today, I was on with Jay Schiffman today. We had a call, and he said to me, I said, I'm not a coach. And I said, here's my experience, life experience. And it reminds me so much of what you just said. I mean, yes, you're a chef, an incredible chef, and that's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is, like, you bring your experience to the table, which is more than a dietitian or a nutritionist could ever bring unless they had gone through it like you did. So you have an understanding and an empathy for the client, customer, and patient that I feel that I have too. So we're aligned in that way as well, which I think is special.
But yeah, if anyone out there knows someone who's on dialysis, they're looking for recipes, they need advice, they're looking for a specific kind of food and how they can get around some of the issues, definitely just hit me up. LinkedIn, Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at Cooking Kidneys. For some odd reason they took out the word without, so my Twitter handle is at Cooking Kidneys.
That's really funny. So what I'll do is, when we get off here in just a minute, I will send you this link. I'll be on YouTube, and you can share it out if you want, because it really sends your message and kind of shows where you're coming from. And I just have a lot of respect for what you're doing. And I'm also glad that you're happy and healthy. So I'm thrilled for you, having come a really long way. And I am happy to promote and help you in any way I can.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on my show, David. It was nice to see you, and I'm glad Angry Dave didn't come. I'm so glad Smiling Dave came. It's really nice to see you, and we love when you smile. Thank you. Keep living with Annietude, and stay on. I'm gonna pop off, but stay on. We'll chat for a minute. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Like and subscribe to Living with Annietude podcast. See you soon. Bye.